Yo, what's up, guys? 65 Lokes here. Welcome to Scale Riders, the Zoom meet. I'm here with George, David, Luis, Matthew, Armando, and Joel, Iceman Collections, and we're gonna just go around and introduce ourselves to the public. And so, what's up, George? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is George, Vision 124. I'm out from New Jersey. We're popping off this first podcast live in YouTube. Hope you guys enjoy. And I'm gonna turn it over to Armando Flores. What's up, Armando?
What's happening, man? I'm right here in beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I'm with this gentleman over here that are into the car model industry. And I'm so happy to be here the first time and support Scale Riders. Edgar, good job on this. I'm going to pass you to David.
What's up, fellas? I'm David Bayonne, the detail junkie. A little nervous being here live from people like in their careers. You know, you can't like edit and take anything back. So I'm quiet. It's because I'm like trying to bite my tongue. I'm kidding. What's up, fellas? Happy to be here, having some fun. Next is Dennis Matthews.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dennis. I'm here in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, it's getting kind of late, but we're here with everybody. We're gonna chat. We're gonna have a good time. And for those of you who know or don't know, for the flyer, that's my 57 that's on there. So see everybody likes it, and well, hope you guys like this. So I don't know who's next. I guess Luis.
Go, Luis.
All right. What's up, everyone? It's me, Luis. You guys might know me by LXC_73 on Instagram. Also, LXC Scale Cars on YouTube. I'm over here in Northern California. Just hanging out with you guys, trying something new, see how it works out. Pass it on over to Iceman.
Thanks, man. It's Joel. You guys know me as Iceman Collections. I'm over here in Sizzling, Arizona. Yeah, just gonna hang out for a while. I've done quite a few virtual meetings for my work, but this is the first one I'm doing on Zoom, so excited to be here. So I'm gonna pass it back over to Edgar.
Dope. Hey, thank you guys for being here. I mean, this is the first one. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I've been seeing a lot of people, you know, on other platforms doing this now that we're all at home, you know, the quarantine and all that. And I was just like, you know what? It would be dope if we all get together, chop it up, see what we've been up to. Last time, a lot of us got to see each other, you know, was either like up north at the NNL, but at the same time, we always chop it up on Instagram. And it's just, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to interact. I wish Instagram had this feature. That way, multiple people, but since the screen is so small, you know, good thing that we have this as an alternative, you know. And so you guys, what have you guys been doing lately these days? I mean, I see your posts, but behind the scenes, as far as working on your guys' models, whoever wants to go first, go right ahead.
All right, so I mean, I'll start off. I still work, so I still end up in the essential list, but you know, work, and then at least like it's a little different because I come home and my whole family's home. Like there's no kids going to school, wife is home from work, no work, temporarily anyway. So it's a little bit weird, but basically besides the models, I'm trying to just get stuff done around the house that I need to get done. And in between, I try to get a build done and stuff. So just working on them little by little. Hopefully get some stuff done, you know, while we're down now. So we'll see what happens. Anybody else?
Okay. So let me start by, you know, saying that this year has been busy, just being at home and basically working on car models. I never stop. I'm always building. And as you can see, there's a lot of models that I have painted in the past 3 months. And I want to show you the ones that I've done so far. This is 2 cars that I just painted like recently. And it took me, you know, maybe a month to do it. but it was a challenge for me because I always try to challenge myself on doing a paint job, and Pancho inspires me a lot. There's a lot of guys out there. I mean, from Japan all the way to the east side of U.S. and the west side. So sorry if I don't mention your name, but you know, you guys inspire me to do this. Even though I've been doing it for years, it's the reason why I do this is because, you know, I think it keeps me young and keeps me like happy, and I do what I like to do. So I'm also working on this other 62 pickup that I basically changed the short bed, because this is a 65, but I end up adding a 62 long bed, and I kind of cut it to make it a short bed. So that's one of my latest piece that I have on the table. Try to put a frame on it and make it look presentable. So that this is one of them that I'm just doing it just to kick some time on night times. There's another panel that I'm doing. This is the 65 Suburban, and what I did is I chopped the roof a little bit, cover the windows, and grind this part of it so that the whole body goes to the floor. So I've also been doing parts for Hot Wheels for Juan and Jerry's, and so I haven't stopped. So that's kind of what I'm working on.
Awesome, dude. That looks pretty dope.
Love those trucks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is dope.
Great paint too, man, on those cars.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. It's like a candy cranberry. I'll be using a metallic light green base, and then I'm gonna throw the candy root beer. Not root beer, I'm sorry, candy brandy wine, and that's gonna turn into almost like a cranberry candy.
That's cool.
And I was gonna ask you, David. You guys, you just recently received a new magazine, right? The Dedicated.
Yeah.
Is it anywhere near?
Oh yeah, I got it all right here, man. I got a whole stack of crap.
Flash the cover. Nah.
Bam.
Oh, nice, dude. That looks cool. So how's everything been going now? You know, this is the latest issue that's going to be coming out. Everybody's pretty excited for that to come out. How do you guys feel?
Oh, we're excited. Yeah, feels like it's like I don't know. It's feels like it's like the nicest one we've done so far. I'm still kind of coming into my own artistically, and I don't know. It's yeah, we're excited about it. I hope everybody got their orders in. If not, we'll have it on MadCloud next week. But this weekend, yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of packing, and that's what I just finished packing all the Detail Junkie stuff too, which is also right here.
Nice.
Oh,
got
all the
Excited
photo
for
etch
that.
stuff. You've been killing it with the photo etch stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And then there's damn it. So yeah, this screen thing is weird to me. Let me know when it stops. Let me know when it's it.
There we go.
Yeah, everybody's going like.
Dang. Bye now.
So I've been having fun with the packaging. Inside.
That's
Nice
cool.
little photo etch.
Oh yeah, show us that. We want to see.
Nice.
Dude, that looks cool.
There we go.
That's nice, man.
Shiny. Yeah, so there's tissue box, the gravel guards, under dash stereo mount, a bunch of cool stuff.
Nice.
Some bumper flat bumper toppers, plate toppers, sorry. Switch plate, all kinds of cool stuff. Then I got plates, prints, and instructions so you know what you're doing with them. And so you can tell,
Instructions.
so you know
What
what
are
I did.
instructions?
Yeah, so you know what they are. Just because I know what they are doesn't mean everybody else does, and I want people to use them.
So how do you come up with your ideas with these concepts? Like I like the CD thing, the cassette tape thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know I love music, so this is a creative way for me to get my my kicks on, you know, creating album artwork, you know. It's tied into like some old school mixtape style, you know.
Yeah, it was really like old school, but it's throwback, but it's really cool. It's different, you know.
It's still
So
my style. I really tried doing like some actual like specifically copying certain old school styles, and I couldn't. It ends up being my own style still. But
yeah,
yeah, it's still cool. Here's the the 50 Chevy truck set. Got
wow,
the bed strips and everything.
That's
And
cool.
I've got the 41 Chevy truck too. It's about the same setup.
nice,
And then I've got a second set of the bed strips you can do underneath. I got some metal stickers. Ah, there we go. Why is it so hard? More plates, flags, and this is that peel and stick wood veneer. This is great
Oh,
for
nice.
beds. Yeah, it's got a paper backing and it's glue.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Set it-
That's
yeah, they
cool.
put the strips right over it. I love this stuff. So yeah, and then we got the magazine. Here we go. We've got, look it right there.
Oh, sweet.
Nice. Boom.
Boom,
Right there.
wagons. See,
There's
we're,
nice
we're,
little
we're getting a
tidbit
sneak,
content.
sneak peek right now.
Well, I'll be brief. I don't want to take up the whole time. We got some good reading material here. So I know people don't buy it just for reading, but if you want to read something, there's some good stuff in here, as well as eye candy.
Nice.
And yeah, a lot of good articles, some really good editorial stuff, you know, by Armando and both Armando Avila and Willie. And we got Joe Garcia in here. We got
Nice.
my buddy Jesse. Shout out to Lee Barrett.
Nice.
This guy sucks, but he's pretty cool. Showcase Hobbies, Trailer Trash. Shout out to you guys. We got Tony07
Nice.
ish. Some dope stuff. Legendary DA.
Damn, that's dope.
Some old school and new school stuff in there.
Right on.
That's a good issue, man.
We almost
That's cool stuff. I won't take up the whole thing because you just gotta buy it. But before we finish, what up, George?
Nice. Represent.
Yeah. What else we got? Oh, and there's a good tutorial on taking photos.
Yes.
Photo
That's
box on a budget.
No, that's good, man.
People need that. It
Yeah.
helps us in finding cool stuff to publish, you know. But and then
Yes.
there's a nice, beautiful back cover with Joe Garcia on the back there.
Right on.
And of course, always the posters
Nice.
with Lee on the one side, DA on the other with that Nova.
Nice.
And then I got to cut these up still, but you know, the plates and stuff that I throw in there all the time. And biggest thing is actually boxes now.
Nice.
Those bags were starting to tear things up, and it was getting pretty pitiful the way the USPS was treating these. So
Yeah.
boxes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
It's
gonna
gonna be worth it more.
It seems meant for everybody for when they receive them. So that's good.
Yeah, keep them mint. Yeah, I've got some help coming on Saturday to help me, so I plan to knock them all out that same day. I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but we're going to try our best to get them all out of here. But yeah, I've got everything ready to go. I've got a stack of boxes. I got everything just ready, so it should be in good shape.
So if everything goes well, we're thinking for anytime next week, everybody start getting all right.
Yeah, absolutely. By the following weekend, they should have them. Shouldn't take any longer than that. 3 days, maybe by Friday, if all goes well. I'll be in your hands.
Right on.
Yep, good stuff. And then I will have some build time. Then that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always
It's still been business as usual for me, working and everything. I'm also essential. So yeah, all my spare time has just been packing. Even just assembling these little things take forever to get correct. You know, I'll have them all ready, go home, and then I'll I'll get there and realize I forgot to print, some license plates or whatever that goes with them, or certain ones. So I'm like, double back, do it all over again. But yeah, so it's a process, but it's been fun, and yeah, I hope everybody enjoys them. I've been getting good feedback from them. I still do have some left, so if you're watching, do we have any viewers? I couldn't tell.
Do we? What's up, guys? You guys are checking it out?
We got like 33.
33?
Looks like 33 people watching.
That's what's up. Cool. Well, thank you guys for
Going
watching.
live right here, so it's on my Instagram account. So
Cool.
they're watching.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm
That's
gonna
awesome.
put my stories on Instagram now that we're on live now, so a few people could see it. They couldn't jump over. So
Awesome. Well, that's all I got for now.
Oh, wait, Edgar is muted.
Edgar's on mute.
Lowrider,
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
be the host.
So I wanted to ask Iceman. He's been killing it with the 3D printing. And what projects or plans do you have for the rest of this year as far as 3D printing now?
Oh, the rest of the year, man. My list is long for the year. I've got so many things. This list keeps getting longer and longer every time somebody says, hey, can you make this? Have you made that? Would you be able to? And I just add it to the list. And then the more that people ask for it, then the higher up it moves on that list. You know what I mean? Trying to get people what they want. But the plan for probably the summer is going to be just to keep restocking what I have. There's a lot of things like the engines, the frames especially. I can only make so many every week. So like frames, I think I made like 40 of them this past weekend. They all sold out within an hour. I'm still trying to keep engines up. The only thing that I'm working on right now, and I'll show you guys here really quick, but I was just bagging some of the engines that I have, one of the 572 cross trams.
Nice.
Love the
But the
cross ramp.
only thing that I have right now that's brand new, and I'm still testing it, it's going to be an LS twin turbo with a high ram intake.
Luis, check this out.
That's sick.
So
Oh, damn, that's so right.
it's the first, yeah, it's the first engine that I printed. So still needing to make sure that everything fits okay.
Is that a big block?
But yeah, it is a big block.
Wow.
It's a Chevy LS, so I'm gonna base it on that. And then if this works out really well, you have the there'll be front-facing turbos.
Nice.
So if this one works out, then I'll take the 572, and I'll make a twin turbo for that one as well. This is the LS block, and then the 572, I'll do a turbo setup for that one also. But I've been wanting to do that for a really long time. When I started doing the engines, that's one of the things that people were asking me for was turbos and a twin turbo setup. And I hadn't been able to get to it. And there's a couple of folks that have offered a few. So, you know, in between prints and bagging and whatnot, I've been just dedicating a little bit of time to making that one work. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully by the end of the month, it's something that I can put up for sale as well.
Wow,
But
man. Hey,
that's
dude,
what I got with
props
3D
to
prints.
you.
The other thing is I've been connecting with David here for a couple of his projects, just kind of
Oh yeah,
hooking him
we got some collaborations
with
going on.
Oh, shit.
couple of pieces. Yeah,
Nice.
a couple of things coming out. So I'm waiting for a little box from him hopefully this week because I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, it should be there tomorrow, man.
And then once he announces it, then you know, you guys will be able to grab some of that stuff too.
Can't
We're
wait.
having some fun. Tag team.
Yeah.
I love the figures that you're making. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
start
gonna
bringing those
grab some
back.
of those.
I stopped making them for a few months. I think last year were the last ones that I made.
Right.
And I dedicated this first quarter of the year to all engines, but I'm going to start bringing, you know, 2 or 3 back every week.
Yes.
Probably do limited runs because they take a long time to print, but I want to reintroduce some of the ones that I have. And then I have a list of new ones that I just need to, you know, size them up and print them and get them out there. So
All right.
I'm excited though. A lot of stuff.
What now? Are those things already like some files that you just like changing the size and printing? How are you getting those files, like, you know, getting those things created? I mean, I'm just asking because new to 3D printing. I like to
Yeah.
learn as I can, you know.
There's a mix. It's kind of depends on what you're trying to go for. The way that I get my files, there's a lot of different ways. So I subscribe to some of the Patreons that are out there that provide files. There's people that I trade with. There's designers that I pay
Okay.
so that they can design stuff for me. You know, the stuff that you're willing to pay is the stuff that's really going to be worth it for you, because
Right.
you have them created however you want. A lot of the files that are out there that are public, it's the same thing that everybody's printing. And I'm sure you guys have noticed things like the crates, the milk crates is something that a lot of people are printing. You have the propane tanks, you know, some of the engines that you see a lot of people printing, that's because they're public files. And so anybody can just find them and then figure out how to print them on their printer, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bit of a learning curve. I was just giving Showcase a couple of tips. He just started printing. He found some time finally. So I've been helping him out and a couple of other folks just kind of get the hang of it. But once you get the hang of it and you start printing, you know, everything after everything, it just kind of works out, man. It's addicting, bro. It really is, man.
Another
I'm really-
hobby within the hobby.
Yeah.
I'm considering trying to get into that, man, because I got a lot of ideas, just like you, and I'm sure you get a big list of stuff. But I
Yeah.
want to create my own files, you know, draw it out and stuff, and then eventually start printing them, you know. And
Yeah, Mission has been drawing some stuff, and he's been killing it on the stuff he prints for himself. Some really nice stuff.
He does
I
some
have a
great
couple
work.
of files that he did for me, really nice. And then Casey from Australia, Slowly's models.
Oh,
Yeah.
love that dude.
I worked with him a couple of months ago, and he's helped me out a whole lot with some of the engines that I have. And and now he's kind of creating his stuff and uploading them to that Thingiverse website where you can get a lot of files for free.
Cool.
yeah, cool that he's doing that. That he's
Oh, yeah.
offering people, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that he posted some wheels on there.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, man. He's very helpful.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
how about this? How about this? You know, everybody's making motors, and I talked to a couple of people, and I got one person that make them, but you guys are making the motors, but nobody is doing the radiators to go with the motors, because you know when you switch these motors out, you know the kit radiator doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
you know, but nobody makes a radiator. Like some of the ones I have, I pretty much custom built, made of my own. And I've told some of the other 3D printers, you know, like to make radiators, because they're going to sell too. You know,
Yeah.
along with motors. 'cause
Yeah,
you-
they will. They
when you
will.
put these
And you know
motors
what?
in there, yeah.
Yeah, you know what the challenge with that is, at least in my opinion, Dennis, it's like when I started doing the figures, people also started asking for drivers, right? But things like drivers, things like radiators, even the turbo setup that I'm doing is going to be very loose, because every kit has different dimensions. So
Yeah.
if I do it a certain way, it's not going to fit in the kit that you are going to build it in, unless you use the kit that I used as a foundation. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
my plan
Yeah.
for radiators is to make some radiators or some of these intercoolers
Yeah, those two, yeah.
fairly long, and then provide the attachments for the hoses so that you can cut to size.
Yeah.
You add the attachment, and then it fits in any car, kind of universal. But I'm still
Yeah.
working on that.
That's
But
a good idea.
yeah, these are things that, you know, people bring up to me and be like, well, why don't you do this? It doesn't fit in mine. It doesn't fit in mine. And it's hard to build for every car. So
It
the
is.
looser that you can make some of these, the easier it is to it. And you guys are killing it. You guys were building some of this stuff from scratch before,
Yeah.
you know, anybody was helping out. So
Right.
some of this stuff, it's like resin. It still requires a little bit of work, but I have a couple of things on my list to do universal. Hopefully it works out.
Well, I mean, while we were talking about the radiators, I mean, to go with that, and of course the list goes on and on. But I mean, you know, basically, if you're doing a radiator, a lot of these cars are just having they fan to go with that radiator. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
whether
two, electric fans.
whether you print it separately or with where the screen is, and still be universal, that'll be cool. But that's how I build too. Like a lot of these modern motors, you're not gonna have a flex fan like you did back in, you know, in the
Mhm.
70s, 80s, you know, you're gonna have an electric fan connected to the radiator. I mean, that's basically how a lot of the cars are built today. So,
Yeah.
you know,
But now that you,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, now that you're saying it out loud, then it's like just my gears start turning right away. And for the radiators, maybe it's not even, maybe it's print the ends of the radiator and a long piece, and then
Yeah.
cut it to size and attach the ends.
That way you
Yeah,
do
That might work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some resin ones like that, and I had to make them. And like I know what you're talking about, where they don't fit right. And but like that's why like when you build models, you know you got to trim stuff. Like a lot of times I put these LSs in there, they don't fit at all. It's like you got to cut, you got
Yeah.
to move stuff, and especially the radiators. Once you put the motor in, the radiator doesn't even fit in there because the motor takes up all the room. So I got to cut the shroud or cut it like just so I can shove the radiator in there just to make it fit. And then you know so. Like if you make a radiator, like how you're saying or whatever, you know, people are gonna have to, you know, that's how you customize or learn how to do
Easier.
stuff because, you know, you're gonna have to do this.
That
Yeah.
you're right, Dennis. But just like Joel's thinking about it, like not everybody has that a bit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you know, not everybody's at that step of their building. So like you know, if you make something universal where you know you can kind of show what are your possibilities to shrink it down and all that.
Yeah, it's a
then,
good idea.
You know that gives more people more insight. Like, oh well, you know, if he makes it this and we can adjust it to the size. Oh yeah, I definitely want that. You know.
Yeah, to learn how to do it and do it right, or not even do it right. It shows you how to do something. You learn how to do something from getting these pieces and learning how to fit it in there, eyeing it. Because like
Yep.
a lot of times I look at the real car and I'm like, okay, LS fits in there, no problem. As soon as you get the model, it's a totally different thing. It doesn't even fit in the model. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I'm telling you, this idea of 124 and scaling stuff to 124 or 125, man, these measurements are not true to scale when you scale it back up to 1:1. It'd be a funky looking car if we were to do that with our model cars. And that's kind of the challenge is we'll take the measurements from a real car and try to adapt them to what we're building, and it doesn't always fit because it's just a couple of inches off, and then you know that's the way that it happens. But I still like the idea of making sure that there's a radiator that fits. A lot of times the kit radiator is quite thick. You're looking at a 1/4 inch sometimes. Even if we can make a thinner one, or if I can make a thinner one, print it out, that gives you 1/8 of an inch more space to put the engine in. If you want to put a fan or whatever, but at least it does give you more space. It's going to be something that I do take a look at, man.
Right. Yeah, definitely not the more on the thinner side, definitely in case you want to add that electric fan, or if you're still having an older motor which has a fan the motor, it'll work either way, you know. But it like every model is different, like every car is different, every engine bay is different, you know, so they all gonna need some work, you know.
Yeah. Like this is a radiator that I'm doing for one of the cars, and it's all aluminum. So what happened is made out of on a laser cut. So it starts in the middle, and then I have basically the frame. So then I'm gonna kind of polish it and put the
mesh
in the middle, just to make it build it look. But that's because I have the connection or the ability to just do it out of aluminum.
But even ideas like that, if we can print out 2 pieces like this,
right.
And then you can make them as long or as tall, as short as you want.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Make it universal, like you can change it around.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy because like back then when I used to when I was messing with the models, there'd be times where I'd want to swap the engine, and I'll put something in there, and I wouldn't even think about the radiator. Like I would leave it out. I'd just be like, oh, this is what it is, you know, like back then. But I just like how now you guys are just busting out with more stuff, and everybody's paying attention. Like everybody wants to put everything in now, you know. It's almost like there's no cutting corners. Like let's take our time and let's just like try to fit everything in there as much as possible. And there's just so many accessories and things that are coming out that that it's just crazy. Like the things that are being 3D printed, photo etched, scratch built. And I don't know, I'm excited to see even next year what's going to come out from everybody.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
there's some some of you guys are doing amazing stuff, man. I mean, if you guys would have to build a kit, which I know we don't, it's really hard to build just with what's in the box. But if you didn't have to buy any aftermarket stuff, I'm sure the details that you guys would add would be killer, man.
Yeah, it's good now that there's so much stuff in the market available to get rather than making it. Some people want to scratch build it. It's still fine. But then it's also good because sometimes vision in your mind, but you can't make it, you know, so having some of the stuff readily available is like perfect, you know, and saves you time and money. But then like I guess it sets you apart from everybody else. Or like Armando builds stuff that's cool because like he has the tools. I don't got tools. I only got certain stuff I can make and do, you know, and then if I can get it somewhere else and then either you make it work, then I'm gonna do it. But I try to make stuff myself, but you know, you only can go so far with that. But it's good that things are getting 3D printed now and it's looking realistic and you know, it's perfect now that we have so many different people doing stuff and have a variety to pick from, you know, and it's like amazing now. It's making a hobby a little bit easier for people to get in and do things and have a vision. You know, some people, you know, it's going to take time, but, you know, because not everybody can just jump in and be like, you know, you got to work your way up. But it's cool. There's so much stuff out now. And people are making stuff, you know, for the masses out here to enjoy their hobby with. And it's like amazing.
And it's crazy that, you know, now that I'm doing 3D printing, it's stuff that I didn't know before. And at least I didn't notice. But you know, that company, Hobby Designs, they make a lot of engines. They make kits. When everything that they have comes from 3D printed masters. And I didn't know that until now that I start seeing some of their engines and I come across files that are very similar to what they make. And you're like, oh, this is where it came from. You know, it's just crazy.
And Joel, like, just let's just say, how long has it been? How many since you said let me jump into that 3D printing? How long would you say that been? Only what, 2-3 years? I don't know. How many?
For me?
Yeah.
It's been about a year.
Look at that.
Dang, so much.
It's been about a year, but here's the thing though, I focus more on printing, right? And like I said, that I have designers, or I'll find designers that are willing to design for, you know, I hire them basically, right? There's not a lot of stuff that I've designed myself. There's a few things that I've remixed, I've modified some of the parts, but from scratch, I haven't actually gone into taking the time to learn that yet. So for me right now, it's more about producing than designing, but I have a really good, you know, set of folks that will work with me when I need them to. And that helps out. But there's the opposite. I know guys that design crazy stuff, you know, but sometimes the price is just a little bit more than what you want to pay.
Right. I mean, well, that's great. And basically what I was trying to get at was, in that 1 year, you have like realized like so much. It is like the possibilities are endless now. Like as far as what can be built as a model now, just because of 3D printing, you know what I'm saying? That is now getting a little bit more affordable. People are now having them more in the house, you know, more buying them. Like I'm gonna look into it soon, so I'll be looking for you for help with that. But it's, yeah, so basically, like what I'm trying to get at is just like the possibilities of the hobby becoming something even way bigger, you know, are endless, you know. I mean, you know,
it feels like in the last maybe 3-4 years, the hobby has grown a lot faster than it was in the previous decades. I remember when I first started in the 90s, you had your, you know, little paper catalog, and you'd order rims, and you've ordered fuzzy fur, and you've ordered dice, and you were killing the game because you had some of this custom stuff. And then fast forward 10-20 years or now, you know, like Dennis was saying, there is just so much aftermarket out there, from photo etch to resin and to now 3D printed stuff. And not just that, but it's all over the world. You can order stuff from Russia, you can order stuff from Japan, China, Poland. There's just so many players in the game that have actually helped the hobby grow a whole lot. So
Right.
and we still see just the surface of it here, you know,
Hmm.
with like all of you guys, everything that you guys do and how you guys innovated, but there's just so much more out there beyond, you know, what's on Instagram.
Yeah, and the beauty about this hobby is that, let's say you can make 100 of the same motor, but everybody will do it differently.
Yep.
I see Luis Javier Cano's work, and I'm like, I will never be able to do it like that. He's so like, you know, perfectionist that he wants
Mhm.
to do it perfect. And sometimes I'm looking at his work and I'm like, oh, he's done, right? But no, he's not. He's still going more and more until that car comes like super clean. I don't even do work like that. So, you know, everybody does it differently. So,
Yeah.
I mean, as an artist, you have so many ideas,
Yeah.
The
And
style.
style too. Yeah.
yeah, it's exciting to see how it's gonna evolve. You know, I think whoever's into modeling right now, it's at a perfect time right now. They're gonna you know, see a lot of great things coming the next decade. You know.
Oh yeah. Even now, I mean, you see something that you want to do, it's there. You just got to look for it a little bit, and you know,
Yeah.
social media makes it so easy for everybody to find.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
And it's funny because probably this technology that we're working on now is probably like all new to us, but it's like we're behind. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's way better things that are coming ahead. You know that we don't even know about. You know, so I'm excited to see what else comes up in like the next 3-5 years, 3 or 4 years. You know,
Yeah.
technology grows so fast, quick. It's so fast. You know.
Right.
So
And right now, you know, combination with 3D print and machining and painting, I think if you combine, let's say, an engine with metal parts or brass or whatever, you'd be able to accomplish, you know, much realistic look by having the 2-3 different techniques that we have right now. And that's what I'm kind of like, my focus is on trying to see if I can do an engine where it has 3D printed parts and metal parts and also paint. So I think in the future, we're going to start seeing that.
Yeah.
Hey, Luis, you've been kind of quiet. What you been up to, Luis?
I got a few projects that I got going on. You guys might know the Cadillac. This one right here. It's been going for a few years now, but
Spotlight that.
this quarantine, I finally got some time to start working on it. I mainly been focusing on the bottom piece, trying to get it all smooth. So I basically cut out the inner piece from the original frame, and then just used the interior tub as the undercarriage. And I had to, you can probably see the little line right there. That's all styrene. We'll had to recreate all that to fill in the gap. The other day, I also created the firewall. Let me see if I can get that. I posted a picture on Instagram where I created the firewall. That's right
Like,
there.
clean.
And I molded it to the undercarriage. So that's gonna be all molded right there, or is molded. Yeah, I'm liking how it's coming out so far.
Yeah, it's looking real good.
But I guess the goal of this car is trying to just be different, because I started this car, what was it, around 2018, I think, for the Cadillac Fest, 2007, 18 maybe. But unfortunately, I didn't finish it. But now that I think about it, I'm actually kind of happy I didn't finish it then, because I'm doing a bunch of stuff that I wanted this car to be. I wanted to be different than all those Cadillacs that were built that year for that show. And more importantly, I want to set the bar high for myself, because my cars are kind of, I feel like I could take it up to the next level, and I feel like this car is going to be the one. And thanks, well, now with the quarantine, I kind of got some free time to start working on the cars. I'm still doing school online, but I'm finding more time to just get building with the cars. I also made the sunroof a little bit bigger, and I also scribed the little trim around the sunroof. What I used to scribe in the line was this scriber from New Type HQ.
I love
Unfortunately, the other day I actually broke it, so
Damn.
it just fell off. But yeah, I was using it to scribe styrene, and I guess I put too much pressure on it, and it broke into 3 pieces. There's the other piece right there. But I highly recommend this if you want to like scribe in the door lines, any type of door line. It's really good for that, just to make them deeper. So when you come in with paint and clear, it doesn't.
What's the brand of that scriber again? What is that?
I got it from newtypehq.com. Maybe Edgar knows
Yes,
the brand.
The brand is a BMC. It's a BMC chisel, and those are out in Japan.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
BMC chisel, and that's the site right there. If you guys want to check it out.
Cool, cool.
0.125.
Yeah.
Are you planning
Cadillac.
to get another one, another chisel?
Yeah, I mean, I have to because it was coming in really handy with the door lines and.
I can rework it for you, Luis.
Yeah,
Right
scribing all the new trims. So I definitely need to get a good one. It's pricey, but I think it's worth it, to be honest.
Only thing bad right now is that it's hard to get them because they're sold out everywhere. So even when you go on a site, you're not gonna find them.
Yeah.
They're always sold out.
Oh
Like,
man, yeah, I couldn't find any
packaging that
God
come in
hands.
right here. Yeah, this is the
Ooh, look at
packaging.
that.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
there.
All right, on.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. But this doesn't have a chisel in. This is just the chisel holder.
Yeah.
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 You're halfway there, man.
Yeah, right.
No, I actually have one in the thing. That was just the one I don't have a chisel for because, like I said, they're sold out. You can never get the size that you need because that's the most popular size, and everybody buys them. And Edgar knows they only make a certain amount of them, and then they put them out. So everybody buys them as soon as they come out, and you can't get one like.
It's like Jerry's wheels.
Yeah, like here's one right here. This is one right here that I got. So
Right.
I do have one, but I actually got a couple of them.
Oh, you
Yeah.
have them all then. That's what's going on.
Ah,
I know, Mom.
well,
You're the
I can't
reason.
give you Jeff
Like
Reed's
toilet
rules,
paper.
man.
Yeah, I picked one up myself. I have one here. Mine's all shipped too.
Everybody's all
but-
fancy.
Huh?
I said everybody's all fancy.
Nah. Edgar put me onto these, and as long as like I already learned now that this will work if I'm chiseling something straight. But once you curve, once you make a curve, the blade is brittle. Like Armando was explaining to me that this kind of metal is brittle. But if you're trying to turn it where that's not what it's made for. It's to just do straight lines. As long as you keep it straight lines and you don't make any curves, and it don't get caught, then it should work. But at least this one chipped once and it's still good. But now I learned for the next one because they're not cheap, guys. The chisel itself is expensive. But
Okay,
that's
while we're on this topic, sorry, man. I mean,
no, you
while
good.
we're on this topic, what's a good one for the curves itself?
I don't
Because
know.
I've always just done Exacto, and now you got my interest, and I've done
Yeah.
some of the photo etch saw blades, but same thing. It's good for scribing, but around the edges, I kind of end up going back to my Exacto. So is there a better tool out there that you guys
I
recommend?
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You might can use a chisel and get away with it. Just go softly. Like there's so many different brands. Like this one right here is actually a Tamiya. Tamiya makes them also, and so I have a couple of different brands. Like I got a Tamiya one. This is a SMIP, and it has a wood grain handle. So
Wait.
a bunch of
Hold on, I
different
wanna see
kinds.
Let's see. Let me spotlight that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go for
Yeah,
it.
see, it has a wood grain handle. And this is a SMIP chisel right here.
Nice.
That's dope.
So there's a bunch of different brands, but Tamiya one is really good because it I already tried it and it works pretty good because when you panel line, it takes the plastic off in a line. It comes off in a line
Cool.
perfect. So it's not like stuff chipping off. But the Tamiya one is kind of expensive and it doesn't even come with a handle. You got to put it in a pen vise. So I have like a pen vise or whatever, and it fits right in there perfect.
Okay.
Use.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Tamiya one that I haven't actually. I ordered it, but because of shipping being stopped at certain countries and stuff,
Oh man.
it's gonna take a while. But probably the tip that you have right there is the one that I was thinking that I just ordered, where it's kind of like a hook. Well, mine's it's a hook,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hook, I think good to right, but
not that big one, Louise. I got that big one too. That's not that one.
It's
Like
still, but the one that he has is more like for like a pen. They also sell the holder separately, and good for curves from what I heard. That's why I'm waiting for that one too. I also they have other brands of these chisels. I found some other ones cheaper. Worth the try. I'm gonna give it a try to see, because while these are sold out or until they come back, I just want to try a different brand, maybe a cheaper brand. Maybe it'll work for now, But
yeah, this is the other one I got. This SMIP I was telling you about. This is SMIP. They make chisels, and the guy, he stays in North Carolina. He lives in North Carolina. He makes this stuff, and it's $25, but you can get these easier than you can get the other ones. And he has an Instagram for SMIP because it's Gundam stuff, but
Okay.
it's pretty good. They're pretty good too. That's the one that has a wood grain handle. I told him to make more of those because I talked to him, I met him, and he asked me what he should make more of. And I was like, well, you need to make more handles because you sell the chisels, and unless you buy the whole thing together, you don't get a handle. So he's like, oh, okay. But this one's pretty good as well, and it's cheaper than buying the BMC. But there's so many different kinds. I'm trying to use all of them. I'm trying to be like Edgar because Edgar has a Mac tool truck at his house. He got all these tools every time he's posting pictures. And I'm like, man, I got to catch up with this guy, man. He got all the tools, man. Got to go to his house and rent them. Like, hey, man, I go on the
That was
and work on my models.
so the brand of that was SMIP.
No, SIMP. It's Simp. It's Simp. But if you can look him up on Instagram, it's SIMP.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jot down
Big
too.
I'll check it out later.
Yeah, I pretty much made my own because I can go to work and just grind my own shapes. I want it. And sometimes I just use a piece of carbide at work, and then I create my own chisel however I want it. And then I also get files that I grind to the side, and I use the file and part of it to actually file in a group. Sometimes I can cut aluminum, I can cut, plastic too. So it makes it easy when you have that.
Armando, do you just a lathe? Is that what you do by machining?
The lathe is for round pieces, aluminum, brass, plastic.
So you also CNC as well?
At work, we have anything you can think of. We have a special tool and die room where that's where you use the diamond wheels, where you can do chisels, however you want to do it. So since I know how to use those machines, I can go on my break or after work and just kind of make it. Or sometimes I have the guy and I tell the guy, hey, can you cut this piece or whatever? And he'll do it for me. So that makes it nice. Let me show you what I have this guy do. I was telling these guys yesterday. He did this on a 3D EDM wire machine.
Damn.
Let me take away the back thing so that my video doesn't show. Okay, so this is all aluminum. So I'm always thinking about anything that I want to reproduce or whatever, I always think about aluminum. So this is going to be a grill for next movie from the car from Japan.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So this is the front grill and this is the back one. So I'm going to be able to do the whole thing polished and I don't have to chrome it. I just polish it and make the grill.
Damn.
So, I mean, if I have the ability to do it, if I don't work there, then I won't be able to do it. I will never machine this at home.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, okay, so I was thinking about my next big toy would be like a lathe. But yeah, because I definitely dig anything metal.
Me too. It brings the car to a different level, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, you can just polish it and be done with it. You don't have to worry about getting it chromed or anything.
Right. I find myself getting a guy on Facebook that he keeps making my wheels, and I keep sending him. Look at Armando stuff.
Nice.
It's all metal.
It's all metal. So,
That's just next level stuff, you know.
Yeah, show us some more. Let's see.
just try to open.
Oh, there we go.
See, I'm trying to show you the whole metal pieces.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you know, that just brings your car to a different level, and it stands out. It definitely stands out. I had got some wheels done, some chrome lips done, and they didn't come out so good that I ended up sending the wheels to the guy that does my metal wheels, and just, look, man, make these in metal because they're not good. Like, you know, I mean, especially when it comes to certain parts, not everything has to be in metal, but things that are really gonna be like wheels are the most
You're gonna
important.
see, that's something you're gonna notice when you look at a model.
Yeah.
You're gonna notice the wheels.
Yes, stuff that you're gonna notice the whole time. I think the wheels are real important on auto. It's always been for me, even real cars. So like, I gotta give myself a mini lathe myself because I find myself like almost wanting to do every wheel in aluminum. You know, at least the barrels.
Yeah, at least the lip. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So, and if you guys want any part, like you guys like don't know how to make it or whatever, just hit me up and tell me, Armando, will you be able to make this part for me or whatever? You know, I have the lathe here, so just don't be shy.
Careful what you wish for.
I know you didn't get my
Careful what you
email.
wish for. We send you a list.
I emailed you. Nah.
My Instagram is right there, Armando Flores.
Yeah,
I have it recorded.
Did you forget that we're live on YouTube?
Yes, right there. My phone number is 818-3. I got you.
And it'll be like this if we were all in the shop. You know, Edgar would be running the front counter. Lewis is the body man. Armando's the guy that fabricates all the stuff. George is the wheels. David gets the parts. Iceman, he's the motor guy. I'm the guy in between in the interior. We're all doing something in the shop, all of us.
Answering the phones. Like, yo,
He's gonna be printing everything and testing it for us. So.
See,
I'll be the bag boy. I'll bag everything up for you guys.
Yeah, I get it, right? Let's say, for example, Iceman, he makes some parts for me already before, and as a favor, you know, this is my payback to him.
Right.
Same thing with David, Detail Junkie. So it's a favor back to just to keep the hobby alive and keep it as a family. That's like right now, everybody's in a different state, but we're right here like if we're in the same room.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is fun. I'm 58 years old and I'm right here looking at all you guys right there, like talking, and I'm right there. People at work, family, whatever, they tell me like, what do you do? What do you do at work or whatever? This is what I do. And this is what I love to do. So
yeah,
it's fun.
that's the beautiful about living in America, man. that you can do what you want, at least outside of work.
right? That's dope.
Except right now, you gotta stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it, but like here's a picture like when I used to ride with Oos.
Oh, let me zoom in.
Oh,
Hey, so
Boom.
on.
Look at me. That's my
Boom,
Fleetwood.
Woo.
Damn.
So
big body.
Yeah. Yeah, until it got T-boned and it turned into a track.
Ah,
Oh man, that's a dope car, man.
you ever
Body.
think about doing a
Back in
replica?
the days. I still got my rims and I still got my hydraulics. Yeah, yeah. But the only thing I hated was that the parts became even rarer than getting Impala parts. You can get Impala parts easier than you can get Fleetwood parts for that particular
Wow.
Fleetwood.
wow. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Because
And
they didn't have any.
now, like they stopped making them. So unless the stores had them, that's the only way you can get them. Or that guy from Cadillac Connect, if you get them from him, but they just stopped making the parts. And then if you find them, they cost an arm and a leg for those Fleetwoods, man. You know, like I still have a dash under my bed in the room, my dash cover. I took the whole dash out, perfect, no cracks in it. I ain't tell nobody I still have it, but now they all
Until now.
Sell it.
Now it's
nothing
everybody
at all.
That's
Yeah.
what's coming.
Dang.
So yeah. So it got T-boned. Like I still have my rims. They're Lakers anodized purple, all over. Just have chrome lips. Chrome spokes, and I got 3-pump all chrome setup also sitting in my storage unit. So I still have all that stuff. I want to do a car, but like I said, people don't realize how expensive it is. Models is one thing, but when you do the real cars, like I just spent a lot of money, but it's just that when you live in an apartment, it's hard to charge your batteries because I had a 3-pump setup, 8 batteries. So I had to run an extension cord out my window with a charger all the time. And I always worried about somebody stealing my charger, looking out the window all the time. And, but it was fun. The car, I love the car. I miss it because when you pull up the light, everybody knows you got hydraulics. They start making that hand motion, like do something or whatever. And I was out there all the time, hitting the corners, 3-wheeling. And when I 3-wheel, I don't just go around the corner slow. I kind of gun it. I'm going around 56 miles per hour. I'm flying out. My car's stationary 3-wheel. So, I can just set it up and just drive down the road, no problem, but
Does that explain the T-bone?
I was coming home one night and I seen the car up the road. I thought they were just sitting there waiting. And then when they pulled out, I thought we were going to go in the middle lane. Now she just kept coming straight across, hit me and said, I didn't see you. I'm like, that's this big car. But she seen the car next to me, but she didn't see my car. And I have a friend, they have a really good body shop. And he's like, I can fix that car because it bent my frame. My frame is reinforced in certain areas. So she hit it right where it wasn't reinforced. And my friend's like, I can fix it. But I was like, you're not even going to give me enough insurance money to buy a bumper and fix the whole thing. It kind of wrecked the car pretty good. And I was like, man, forget that. I don't even want the car anymore. I was so mad.
That sucks, man. Well, Edgar had asked, are you planning on building at least a scale replica of it? Because I know they have it in resin, right? That body, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they have it, but I don't like none of the resin copies out there right now. Every time I see somebody with one, they look like they're bent. They don't look good. Like I'm doing a replica of my friend's box Chevy. I had Poncho, he painted it because I just couldn't paint that car. I don't know, that guy painted so good. And the resin I got from that was like the worst resin. It's a 2-door box Chevy right here. And Poncho painted it, but it had the interior is for a 4-door. And even the grill wasn't even right. I had to get this grill out of another car. Everything, the grill was like a eraser. And it's like, this is like the worst. It's thick and weird, but I had to get a newer Caprice and use the bottom for the Caprice to fit up under there because nothing else works. I had to trim this down just to get it in there right and everything. And I'm doing that right now. But like all those Fleetwoods, they look terrible. I know Jeff Reeves was doing one. I asked him about it. He said he sent it over here, and the person's done had it for 6 years now, and they haven't did anything with it.
Who was it that he sent that to?
I think last time I talked to him, I think it was somebody in Vegas that had it. And they were supposed to master it, finish it for him, and nothing came out of it so far because he had the perfect one. He did it all nice. I was like, I'm gonna get that.
Clean. Yeah.
Yeah, it had the right interior. It didn't have a Caprice interior or Impala interior. It had the right interior. And that's one reason I didn't want to buy that kit because of that resin, because there's no interior. They give you an Impala interior, you got to use it. That's not the right interior. So but not the right interior.
Hopefully these 3D designers are listening to you.
It's funny. Rev should build that because you think about it. If a regular box Cadillac sells like hotcakes, a 94 or 95, 96 Fleetwood, man, they'll make so much money off that, just that one kit. It'll probably surpass any kit they ever made because everybody probably buying those in box loads. you know, just for that car to do something, because, you know,
Yep.
that particular car, you know, and instead of repopping these old cars, like, okay, we've seen that 10 times already, you know, make something new. I know now all the car companies are greedy. They want to have their hand in everything, they want licensing fees and all that stuff. But, you know, I think if Revell did a 94, 95 Fleetwood, that's money. That's right there. That's money. It's not like that's a car that's going to sit on the shelf. That's a car that's going to fly off the shelf and always be constantly sold out, you know, because it's just that car. That's an iconic car. That the big body Fleet was an iconic car.
Yeah. And let me tell you, when they get going back to like resin bodies, I give you guys a lot of credit. I have a few here that I'm afraid to even touch, but I definitely gonna start working on them. Just getting tips from you guys that especially going to California, like talking to Willie and a couple of you guys who've worked with resin bodies. You gotta have extra patience, from what I see, and you gotta be willing to put in the work to turn that resin body to be a showstopper. And I'm gonna give it a try this year with that. But yeah, man. Some of those bodies you need a ton of work. Some of them are like a brick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
it's
those.
all thick.
Yeah.
That's how this Caprice is. Man. The bumpers.
Yeah. I feel you on that. There's a lot of those bodies I won't even touch. I was like, nope.
Yeah. I mean, not all of them are. Not all of them are, but definitely some of them are. But I seen guys turn those things around to be showstoppers. And like I said, hats off to you guys. But I'm gonna give it a chance this in couple of months from now. I got a couple of those bodies that I want to work on.
What bodies do you have?
I have a 65 wagon, Impala wagon.
Okay, those have been known to be pretty rough.
Yeah, and
just so you know, on that wagon, George, I think for the bumpers, you're gonna need the ones from the annual AMTs, the new Revell, the new kits won't fit it.
Yeah, you know what? Armando was telling me that, and it's weird because they had told me that the new Revell, I mean the Foos Revell was gonna work, but from what Armando told me, that wasn't true.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the best thing that I can recommend for resin, and about half of my collection is resin. I don't have showstoppers, you know, but I'm a big fan of resin. I'm a big fan of collecting all these kits. The best thing that I can tell you for the ones that I've built is before you start painting a single piece, test fit everything. Test fit the entire build from beginning to end. Once everything fits, then you start gluing, then you start painting. Because when I first started, I would get close to the end or even final assembly, and the interior doesn't fit or the chassis doesn't stay. And it just kills your motivation.
It does.
That's the problem I'm having right now. With that box Chevy I just showed you. Don't fit at all. Like I test fitted it and they work perfect. Now everything's painted, they don't work. But, I actually have a Model House box Chevy, 4-door box Chevy from Model House.
Okay.
So everybody's like, oh man, they're flipping out about this because, you know, you can't get these anymore. And this thing is really nice. It has the right interior. It came with a lot of stuff on it. And
that's a unicorn, man.
Yeah. And actually, the guy that I'm building the two-door box Chevy, he got this and gave it to me for building that. So,
nice.
Well,
it's do a replica on this because I actually own 2 4-door box Chevys, one with hydraulics and one with not. So I could do a replica build on this one. Actually, I owned about 3 Caprices, man. I had a space age, we call them space age Caprices. I had a 91 Slams, 13s, and that was the last time I ever rocked 13s. I couldn't do 13s no more after that. So I went up to 14s, and that Cadillac I just showed was 14.7s. And the 13s my car couldn't take it. You know, I had a 70 Impala with 13s on it. I used to blow the tires out everywhere I go because the weight of the car was just too heavy for the wheels. So the Space Age Caprice had worked, but people don't, like, some people know on newer cars, it throws your calibration off. So your car thinks it's going really fast, and it's not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, like on that Caprice, man, I have it floored, and I thought the motor blew up, but it's just that the governor kicked in, you know, and so I was like, I can't do it on that Fleetwood. The 14s, they weren't that bad, and I still can go pretty fast with it. Even with the 8 batteries, 3 pumps, that car still flew down the road. So we used to go to hangouts, and I tell everybody to leave before I get there. Leave before me, because I'll pass them up on the highway, because, you know, I'm trying to go somewhere, I'm gone, you know.
Now, I want to share something with you guys. We were talking about it yesterday. I have this notebook where it has some flyers from, you know, back in
Yeah.
1994.
Dennis.
That's cool.
Big Kids
That's
Enterprise.
Yeah.
You know, all the car shows that were, you know, back then in the
Wow.
early 90s. I saved every flyer from, you know, every
That's
time I
so cool.
went. So
Dang.
this is the type of flyers that were back then when I remember going to the model car shows. And
96.
That's awesome.
regulations. This is like way back when SoCal Classic, Cactus Classic. Let me show you here. I mean, it has even Arizona show.
That's awesome, man.
This is
Yeah.
Dang.
94.
94. This is the way the flyers just look.
Ooh, that looks nice. That Merc.
Really old school. You just get a copy, like they go to Kinko's and get it print out. Valley Con, look at this one.
Number
Look at
8.
that.
Oh no, it's 13.
1997.
Oh, it's 8. Valley Con.
97, yeah. 97.
Valley Con.
Wow.
There were so many, and flyers that will have the sponsors. Another Valley Con. But look at how old school they were.
I like that one. I'm gonna copy that one. You're gonna see that design for the next show out here.
Nice.
See, it has that old school writing.
Fantastic plastic.
The Good Guys, 1996.
Man, see,
90s.
Armando got stuff that I wasn't even thinking about doing model car shows on these stuff. I only was looking at the Lowrider bike books. I wasn't even thinking about doing model. I didn't even know they existed.
I didn't even know that you, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, they were like, you know, as you can see, there's a lot of them every year. And they were all in the California area. And for lowriders, it was very difficult to compete, because what I remember seeing, it was no lowriders whatsoever. So that made me start doing my own wheels and, you know, put the lowriders out there. Then I started seeing lowriders, and that's why I came up with the wheels and more competition. And
Yeah, I remember.
believe me, they didn't like us, okay?
I was going to ask you.
They didn't like us. They didn't like us because the car model scene over here used to be all like muscle cars, street machines, and dragsters and all that. So there was not even a lowrider category in some of the car model shows. So
Yeah, it's like you had to put it in custom class or something.
right. And then they start noticing that, well, there's lowrider category, so they start doing it. So that's when you start seeing more lowriders coming back. And this is back when I had already Loco 64, I had Suavecito, I have, you know, so many, even back then, hoppers also. So there's a whole bunch of them. Look at this one here.
Damn.
That's the one
That
I
looks
can't
so
copy that.
crazy. Long
I
Beach.
can't draw
Like
that.
Halloween, I remember that one that I went and I took my 64 Frankenstein, and it was a black 64 with the lights on, and I was hopping the car right there with those guys. So there's memories and memories over here that I never throw away, because I know that someday I'll be able to share it with you guys in the whole world. And eventually I will do like this little video clip so that everybody can see what was out there. I can go on and on. There's so many.
Wow.
Like in
Yeah,
this.
keep going, keep going.
That's cool.
It's,
No, you know what? You know what he needs to do?
That's
He needs to
dope.
go and get some of those photocopied, and when he goes to shows, he needs to hand them out. People think they're like new shows.
Yes,
Get people hyped up.
And I want to show you the one that the first. This was the first masterpieces show that
Wow.
that we did at the Good Night Inn. This was done by Masterpieces back in 1997.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that registration fee, $3.
Dang,
Wow.
$1 for the first model.
Right.
That's awesome.
I remember showing the clip of how I did Las Vegas on you know those TVs that had a tube in the back and it was they're huge, like a big monster.
Right.
I got one right there in front of me right now.
Okay, it was one of those TVs and with a VHS, and I was playing my VHS over and over. The whole show, I probably played it 5 times, and everybody was just looking at it like, you know, with all the problems, all the mistakes and everything. But it was there, and it was fun. But I got this, and I have more. Little by little, I'll start showing all the stuff that I got here.
Yeah, I remember like looking at the Lowrider bike books and like how Edgar was showing them online and everything. But I remember how I used to look at them and I used to see you in there, Armando. And like anybody, everybody used to like, well, how do you do this? Where do you get this? I used to, like I was telling Edgar, I used to see cars in there and like, I'm like, where do you get these cars from? Because they're not even at my hobby store, you know, and I'll ask them like, oh, these cars are discontinued or whatever. I'm like, well, I just seen it in the magazine, you know, these people have them. So how is it discontinued? And that's when I was first getting into it, you know, and looking in the bike book. And there were so many things that like coming out over there that weren't over here yet. And we used to wonder like, where do you get this from? Or where do you get that at? You know, or, you know, how do you make this? Or like you making your wheels, like I need to get some in, you know, and just trying to figure out stuff like that and how things have progressed now. Cause like, you know, you can get stuff anywhere now, easy. Go online, type it in. Somebody selling on eBay, somebody selling on Amazon, somebody selling on here. But back then, it was like you couldn't find nothing. Then it was trade secrets back then. If they tell you, they have to kill you. You know, 007 kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just amazing now. Like anybody asks me anything, if I know it, I'm gonna tell you. You know, I don't try to be like some people that, you know, remember how it was. They won't tell you nothing. Like, hey, how'd you do that? They won't say nothing. It's like they didn't even see your message. You know, and, I try to help people because I've been helped so much. And even when I first got back into modeling, I took my car to a show and they just ripped it apart. And I was pissed. But then it helped me out because, you know, it showed me what I needed to do or what was missing on the car. So I learned. So when I came back, then I won with the car. Again, the same car, but I didn't win in that same contest. I won somewhere else. Like I went to Atlanta, like where me and George go at. And it's sort of like the NNL West, but I think it's a little bit better as far as that there's a top 10 and there's other categories. Instead of like an NNL West, there's only one person wins in certain categories, but at least over there it's top 10. And I asked the first year I won top 10 and people were freaking out. Like I've been coming here for 5 years, I never won. And the first year I came, I won. And, you know, and I didn't think my cars, there were so many cars that were so better than mine, but it was just something different. It was the only lowrider, I think. So I beat all these people out and I kind of felt bad, but then again, I was happy because like going to that one first show and then telling me what was wrong with my car, coming back home, taking it apart, redoing it, or adding the stuff I needed to add on there, like it helped me out because some people right now, they can't take constructive criticism. If you say anything about the car, they're flipping out. They want to fight you. They're going to come look for you instead of see what you're saying, you know. And it's, you know, it helped me to be a better person or go to shows and learn. If somebody doesn't like your car, that's fine. You know, not everybody's going to like what you do. Not everybody's going to like your builds or nothing like that. But you learn or some people out there that they try to help and teach you or show you things. And so you understand like, okay, when I come back, when I do my next model, I know what to do now, or I know what the judges are looking for. And some people like, I don't want to build a show. I'm at the point right now where I really don't care. Like I go to show, I go have fun. So I just want to show people what I did. You know, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I don't care. I still have fun because like I always see George We always hang out. We do stuff, and I meet other people. I have so many friends in the modeling industry now, just from going to shows and contests and meeting people. And if you're nice to somebody, they remember you. And they're always going to come back and talk to you. And you know, you got a friend for life or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just traveling, it's been a lot of fun for me because, like I said, meeting you now, to me, you're not an associate no more. You're just a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool to meet people. I'm looking forward to trying to go maybe next year to somewhere different, if possible, maybe Texas, even different places. Just because just especially going here on when we're here on IG and we see guys post pictures of after they got out the show, what they won or what was there. It's inspiring, man. And then getting to me, it's always been, instead of competing, it's always been about just meeting everybody and it up and talk. It's always my most fun out of everything. And it's cool because it doesn't matter if we're in the same state or in the same or across the country or a different country. We can still have a cool relationship and share stuff and learn from each other. It doesn't matter how far we are from each other. And when you travel and you end up, having these relationships, it's cool to see each other face to face and just share what you guys built, what we built and we talked about over social media. It's a blast. I have a lot of fun with it.
We all speak the same language.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
We've all gone through the same struggles.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you guys, we do have a question from there's like about 30 people live on the live chat.
Right on.
And, if you have a question, and this one, Armando, if you can answer it. Let's see. What's the best
custom build ready?
What's the best intercoat clear to use with Tropical Glitz Flake when airbrushing? When shooting it through the airbrush.
It's right here in the back.
All right, show us.
Ronald got everything right there.
Shooting it through the airbrush. It's right here in the back. All right, show us.
Hey guys, I've had the pleasure to be in. There you go. Screenshot, guys. Screenshot.
There you go.
This is the best. Not only you can shoot flake, but you can shoot candy, you can shoot pearl, you can shoot Murano, you can shoot pretty much anything that you can put in this type of clear.
But nobody can afford Murano.
Or find it.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah. So,
Armando has it.
It's a Murano.
oh damn.
Given to me by Bill Carter. One of the
See, let me get it.
painter.
It's a fake.
Look at that, $5,000 right there. $5,000 right there.
This is now fake.
I think that should go in the safe inside the house.
No, that's his retirement fund. That's his
I'm gonna hide
retirement
it
fund.
next time.
Hide it under the bed.
You know where it's at, right? But it's enough. It's enough for like about another 100 model kits.
Nice.
Dang.
Just one little scoop, and that will do it.
Yeah, I have another question from the chat. If you guys can answer this, this is from Bobblehead Scale Rod Shot. He asks, "What's the best way to do vinyl roofs?" Anybody who's done vinyl roofs?
Well,
I don't know. There's like a bunch of different ways. I see people using tape. There's certain tapes you can buy at the store. Like he's showing one right there.
yeah, this is just flat paint. But if you throw it like kind of like a wrinkle, you can almost look like it's vinyl, because this car is gonna have like the whole vinyl part, but it's
And when you mean throw it by a wrinkle, is it just are you dusting it or what's
yeah,
the
just
process?
throw it like spray it and let it go right away, like so it spits.
Okay.
And if you throw primer a little bit more thicker and then throw the flat black, that will do it. But there's Scotch tape you can put and use it as a vinyl and then paint it black. You can you can use fabric. Edgar, remember you gave me some tape that has that texture of vinyl in black also. But if you have curve lines and stuff like that, then it's gonna be hard to stretch it and or bend it.
Yeah, it's crazy because one of our friends from Oxnard, his name's Rudy, he had given me this like roll of like a black vinyl, and it was like very small texture, and I was like, oh dope, where'd you get that? And I believe I need to ask him again to refresh, but I believe he got it either like at Home Depot or somewhere. It's a really thin vinyl, a big sheet that pretty much it's used for like your shelves in the kitchen where you're gonna put your plates and stuff. You put the bottom layer, and then you can put your plates on top and cups and whatnot.
Yeah,
it has an adhesive on there as well, but that material right there was something that I was like, oh man, you could use it. It's very flexible.
Yeah, it's right here. This
there
is
it is.
the one that he's talking about.
Let's see.
Man, I got everything here, right?
Mando does have everything, man.
This is already with the texture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I see the texture.
And it has, it's very thin. Has already tape in here.
Right.
It stretches, so you can actually make seats, whatever you want to do. Leather, you can always spray any other color on top of it, and it will look like real leather. Also, there's some model kits that come with this is all dirty and stuff, but there's a model kit that came with a little piece of like leather if you wanted to put the roof like leather. It's only like on the old AMT model kits, but you're not gonna find a good one because after all these years, you hardly find one good one. But over here, I have a piece. Whoever wants a piece, give me.
Nice.
And we could just reach out and grab it.
Yeah, come on. Right here through that. No, it won't work. Okay.
Yeah, there's different ways. Just like Armando said there, showed there. I know there's a guy over here. He's from Maryland. His name is Marcos Cruz. He does a lot of articles for Scale Auto and whatnot. Personal friend of mine, really good. He's one of my mentors. Let's just put it that way. He gave me a lot of tips on how to paint and stuff. He uses kind of like the method that Armando talked about spraying it on. There's I forgot the name of the. I'm trying to think of what was the name of the paint company, but they sell model car paint. Well, there's a texture paint that they sell, and he shoots it, from a distance, and it gives you that texture feel.
You talking about that one that's called faux fabric?
Yeah, I know that's another one.
Not that one. I've got some of that I was thinking of doing like an old school '90s style, where it's like it's not leather, but it's that soft rag, top
right.
look.
Yeah,
but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I tried that, and the texture's kind of big. You know what I'm saying? Like for scale, per scale.
Yeah.
But he uses this, and he shoots it from a little bit from a distance, and it works out kind of like just like Armando said, shooting it maybe a little bit from far. It gives you that texture look. I seen him do a couple of Novas and Camaros, and they really, you gotta have a little bit of experience with airbrushing, but I've seen the end result, and I've seen it up close, and it almost feels like real. He pulls it off.
Lower the PSI like 10 PSI on the brush so that it's almost.
Yeah. You know what? Let me see if I find I'm magazine. 1 second.
All right. And then one other one that I remembered that Doug Knobin, Cynical, did was using 3M spray glue to give it that texture.
Yes.
And then your paint for the color.
Over it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, it looks great.
All you want is that texture look.
Yeah, just to give it the texture, and then your flat color of whatever you're looking for.
I see
And it does
people going that color and then go with Scotch-Brite and just tap it like so it gives that wrinkle
go.
look, and then spray it black.
Yep.
So there's so many tricks.
Is George getting something?
Yeah, I think he's gonna get something to show us or
All
something.
right, dope. Yeah, I want to showcase Luis in a little bit right now.
I can't find the magazine right now, but I know it was issue scale auto. It had a Nova in the front cover, a green Nova.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, so that one explains how he does them and what styrene he uses, the size to make the bracket. I mean the molding that goes around the bottom vinyl. It's a
That's
great
another trick too.
Yeah,
to
it's
do
a
that
great
molding.
article and I've seen it up close, so it really works. So he goes into detail how you do it. So like
Yeah, that's another thing. You got to do with the molding if you do like on the back corner, or
Right.
also the ribs on some of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So little styrene strips to do that.
right.
Yep. Put it
So
underneath.
yeah, there's different ways to do it and Edgar, is there any other questions?
So another one, it's kind of, I would say it's more like a suggestion. This is Ivan on Instagram. He's Little Shop of Models. He wants to know. Well, yeah, it's pretty much a question. What's your favorite build, and if so, if you could show it, if possible. So if you guys want to do a little roundabout, grab a build that you're proud of. I'll start with Luis because he has this right here, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
from there.
I was gonna say I'm at my office, so I don't have anything with me.
I'll find out.
Go, Luis. Let's see.
Well, I guess I have a few cars. I haven't really built any new cars. The most recent one I built was this one, which you guys might know of already, Horizon 64. Out of all the cars I've built, there's not that many, but I think this one has to be my favorite one, probably. Just because I feel like it was maybe not a challenge, but I did finish it in 3 months, which is kind of crazy because it takes me like a year or so. But I guess it was because I wasn't on a deadline. But I really liked the way it turned out. You guys know I added the trim, so it's
Yeah, I
no
love
longer
that
super
trim.
cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, and I just love the way like it looks like slammed. I think this one's like one of my favorite ones. It's like really simple, but I feel like I don't know, simple goes a long way sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, so that's because you normally take a long time for your build. You're very particular with your stuff and how it's gonna look, and it was just crazy for you to be able to like bust this one out in such a short time.
Yeah, it was 3 months. I really wanted it to go to Japan. I wanted the owner to see it in person. He was able to hold it. I wanted to buy it, but I just couldn't let it go.
Yeah. Where's the rag? Where's the 59?
Oh, that's in the closet.
Oh, damn. It's not the favorite
Let me see if
anymore.
I know, right? I left it over there abandoned.
Hey.
Let me see if I can go get it real quick.
No, yeah. Right on.
All right, Armando, go ahead, Armando.
Let's see Armando's. Oh.
Ah, dang.
Woo. This is the Boogie Nights 2.
Boogie Nights 2.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, after doing Boogie Nights 1 and give it to Jerry's, I was like, why I did that? Why?
Why?
I go, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do that car again. And I go, well, why not? So I go, you know what? I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna tweak it a little bit and I'm gonna call it Boogie Nights 2. So this car just needs a little bit of more other panels, color sand, more other panels, and then clear coat it again, and then it will go to Netherlands for Jerry's Magic. It's gonna be hideaways, remote control, lights, music, power antennas. The ceiling is gonna have fiber optic. It's gonna be all custom interior, color bar built in, stereo system, and the remote control programmable hydraulics. So that's the idea on this one. I hope this one will be my favorite because I love the Boogie Nights 1 first. And I go, you know, I need to have one of these babies in my collection. So
Love it. Very nice.
yeah, man.
That's dope. You got the 59, Luis? Let's see.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I got it.
Damn. Show us.
Nice.
One thing, Luis. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but on the trunk, like he has that pattern at top, but if you open it, he has the same on the inside as well. I don't know if you guys could see.
Wow,
that.
reversed.
Yeah, it's like reverse.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know, it's something I like to do, just kind of mirror it on the bottom as well. Here's the 61 I did a while back. This one was only my third car I ever patterned. This one I got it in the firewall, undercarriage, and the trunk's kind of messed up because one of the pumps fell off, but you guys can see all the patterns in there as well.
Yeah. Dang, that's dope.
That's nice how they just continue on, and that's man, that's a lot of talent, man. I appreciate that talent, man.
Yeah, props, dude. That's lame.
Damn. Let's see. Iceman right here. He has this little spotlight. Let's see. Ooh, look at
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, love this one.
That was the one that
This,
was on the volume 1, right? That one.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to get the build off for the first issue of Dedicated magazine. So
Yes,
I
nice.
can do fancy paint jobs. I can do, you know, that shiny stuff is a challenge to me. I'm working on getting better, but this is probably one of my favorite ones. The other one is this one here, also not shiny.
Nice.
More of a hot rod, but this one here, I did go all out, or at least in my opinion, at least to my skill, you know, open one of the doors. The door's already a bit weak, but did the full detailed interior.
Yeah, I love that seat.
Yeah,
That seat belt.
That's awesome.
Did you know?
Man, very realistic.
Yeah.
Jumped into the trunk stuff, and then same thing with the engine. Just weathered it as much as I could, just so that it matched the rest of it.
Yeah, the rag
Great detail work. It
That's
looks
dope, dude.
and the paintball.
Yeah, the paintball shots, man. That was one of my favorite things to do. It was a happy accident. I dropped one of the small brushes on the body, and it splattered like that. Then I was all like, it needs more of that.
Wow. So that's a drop. How'd you get that effect?
Yeah, well, yeah. I dropped one of the small. I don't know if you've seen these small mini.
Oh,
paint-
right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
dropped
I love those, by
smaller
the way.
red one on it, and it did that. And so I can wrestle, and I just shot small, quick strings of paint onto it.
Oh, nice.
But
That's a great
yeah,
effect.
yeah, it worked out really well. But the other thing that I want to show you guys before I forget, we've been talking, and that test engine, I just finished putting it together here, just to kind of show you guys that twin turbo LS.
Wow.
This is where it's at. Again, just the test, just to kind of see how the parts are fitting.
Wow. A sneak peek. That's dope.
Yeah.
Peek right there.
Looks like a transformer. Look at it. He's gonna get us. Look at it. Transform. I like it though.
I like it, man.
Now you
Yeah,
can do
thanks.
double trouble.
I'm gonna have to put in one of my donks, man. I'm gonna get it and put in my donks, man.
Yeah.
I like
Coming soon.
So,
Yeah.
price on that.
Nice man donks.
prop to Iceman. He was doing this while we were chatting around in the back and behind the scenes. He's over here.
Not even paying attention to anybody.
I wanted to show it off. Yeah.
Nice. Good job, man.
That's dope. What do you got, George? Let's see.
All right, so I got. Let me switch this real quick. All right, so this is one of my favorites. It's probably not the best built, but to me, it's definitely one of my favorites because this model. Well, first of all, that's in 510s, and so getting back into the model, this is the first model I bought. Getting back since I was like teenager or young 18-year-old was probably when I stopped. And getting back into it, this is the first model I grabbed, and I happened to be a 510, which I was a fan of. And this car, you know, went through a lot of different looks. Like I had different wheels, I had different motor, and just recently I finished it for a theme that we were doing Nissan Datsun Day, and like I said, it looks really good. From there, it does have imperfections, but this was just me learning. From what I learned in the last couple of years, I've gotten better. But just a couple of detail stuff. Like, and I did a Mazda rotary motor, and it's really detailed out. I went extra on all the details. I went on it, and a big focal point is the engine. And these wheels are rare. They from Aoshima. They're aluminum. They came in like early 90s, and they're hard to find. I also did a conversion. This is a Nissan Skyline 1972 grill on it, and in the back, those are also taillights from a Skyline. And in the interior, I kind of kept it old school. I got 2 subs back there. I'm repping Scareworld.net right there with that decal.
Nice.
Inside, I got some Recaro seats, some old school Recaro seats. And kind of like the theme with this car was just like, if I owned it in real life, what would I do to it? I mean, that would happen to like any of my builds, but if I own this car in real life, this is probably what it will look like, what I would do to it. So that's one of them. I would say it's pretty much one of my favorites because it's been, work in progress for years. And I'll show you another one.
Was that the Revell kit? Is that how that started?
Yes, that was the Revell kit. The Revell kit comes with the fender flares like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh, love this one.
yeah, and it comes with the fender flares, and it comes 2-door.
Love that one.
This one right
That's right.
here, this one right here finished last year, and it's become pretty much a favorite for everybody who knows my builds.
Iconic car right there.
This was a lot of fun to build. I find myself, when we throw our shows, we do a theme for our diorama. And this year was both European cars. So I've been wanting to build a Beetle for like forever. And then I found the Herbie decals, and I said, man, I'm gonna do a Herbie, but I'm gonna slam this thing. Do it like if it was from like a Cali Herbie car. So I just did a lot of detail work. It's just been a lot of fun. The interior has a plaid pattern. The slide back roof, that's actual medical tape, and I use like a navy blue Sharpie to paint it. Because it's ink, because it's a cloth tape, so it gives it the look like it's a cloth. It's got some cool details. 3D printed inside. Let me see if I can shine it up. What's my light? Right in there, it's a 3D printed air ride system. It's plumbed up and everything. So it has air ride. In the back, I also detail the motor. If I can see, it's a lot of detail, and that stripe, follows the motor. just like outside. So it
Shout
was a
out to
lot.
Louise for that.
Yeah, shout out to Luis. Back there, from there you can see the air ride suspension in the front. I had to build that belly pan myself, just to get it this low. But it's been like received well. It's just an understatement, you know. But becoming definitely one of my favorites, and everybody seems to like it. So it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun building this.
Nice work.
So,
Yeah.
That's
but
fast,
yeah,
man. Beautiful.
definitely that's one of my favorites now as well. And
Yeah.
hopefully my next one is so we'll see what happens.
I'm excited to see what you guys come up with later. Is I know like there's no shows at the moment, but hope at the towards later in the quarters of the year. David, can you let us know about? You guys just got a date for your guys' show in Texas.
Yeah. We were able to postpone it to August 15th, I think, or something like that. Middle August. Anyway, Utah Junkies on the for the flyer itself. But yeah, we were able to lock it down. And hopefully everybody shows up. I wouldn't be surprised to see people rocking masks and stuff like that. Hopefully we don't have like an increase of more corona cases and everything.
Yeah, maybe we could find a company, one of the masks, to have one of our model bills printed on there, so you know who's who. Walking around with it. I wanted to show you guys a paint job I was doing on this like 70 Impala. I did some years back. I don't want to say it's like my favorite build, but it's like what's in front of me right now. Let me get this closer to the camera here. So this is it right here, the 70 in Impala. Oh, can you guys see it? Oh wait, let me take off the
Your background.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see it now.
Ooh, all right.
It's still faded.
Bam.
Oh,
All right, here we
there you
go. So
that's fun, dude.
Nice.
so you see right here. So at the time, I was painting stuff silver and gold, and on this one I was like, let me go gold, and I'm gonna throw patterns over it or whatever, right? And then I started to throw black, and that was just gonna be the foundation. I was gonna throw another color over the black, so you were not gonna see any black. But then the more I would stare at this car, the more it would trip me out. Just seeing the colors, that I was like, man, I need to cover up this gold already. I need to move on. But the more I would stare at it, the more I would just get lost in it. And I started just to just step away from the car. I was just like, oh, let me move on to something else. This is the part of the interior too.
Yeah, that's a keeper.
Tray and
Yeah, it's different.
in the dash. And I mean, I was gonna cover up the gold that was gonna go off, but when I was gonna take all the tape off, it was gonna show the lines in between in gold, with all the colors. But
using the gold as more of a base under your candy.
Yeah,
and cover the whole thing. Yeah.
So I just kind of like just put everything away, and when we were getting everything ready, for like show prep and stuff, I was like, man, what do I have around me? Like, I know I have a couple builds, but this is one that I've never really even posted photos of in the past. That I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna want to share this later today.
And you finish it, man, because it's definitely looks good.
Yeah, some clear. You're good.
Yeah, it's not done, but hopefully later. Oh, here we go. There we go. Later.
Camouflage.
We'll see. But yeah, it's just some colors I just need to kind of get rid of, throw some stuff over. But that'll happen a little later, but it'll be there for you guys to show. What about you, Dennis? Do you have anything around you?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll show the flyer card everybody likes. There's a flyer card.
There you go.
Right there.
There you go. Nice.
Everybody likes it, and it's out there. See how it is. It's fully detailed. When we're talking about LS Motors, has LS where they built the radiator, and a lot of my builds people don't know. You have to look very closely, unless I point out they're all hard line cylinders in them. So unless you don't know, if you don't look hard enough, you don't know that. Like all my cars, they have cylinders in the front with hard lines, and I do that, and also like we was talking about LS's. people don't change the bottom of the car. You can't rock those leaf spring suspensions when you change motors out like that. So
Yeah.
my stuff is
Sure
all
you
changed, you know. So I try to do it the best I can with it, you know.
Yeah.
And you see, I change that suspension. You got to run stuff differently. But like, this is not my favorite car. You know, this one is probably my favorite car. This is the one that really got a lot of attention because
Oh yeah.
Yes. All that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
when people looked at it, they don't know this is rattle can. They think it's airbrushed. This is straight Chester's one coat lacquer paint from a rattle can. And people, you know, always thought I airbrushed it. It's won a lot of awards with the best gloss code. And, you know, I tell people, some people think it's decals. I was like, no, this is, I painted this, and I show them the pictures of what I did with it. And like, you know, it has a setup in the back, you know, that's plumbed and everything. It has a plexiglass, blue plexiglass, and it's full chrome. This is all Chrome Tech before Chrome Tech went out of business.
Nice.
You know, and even the motor's all chromed out too. Chrome Tech, everything's chrome. You know, it has and can't see the interior, but interior detail. But this is the one I like the most. You know, and you know, it got the back like that. You know, it's got photo etch emblems all around it, the script and everything. And this is probably my favorite. It also has the 60 tail lights. You know, people ask me where I got it from. You know, because I seen a car in one of the Lowrider magazines. I was like, yeah, I like that. So I went and bought that 60 kit because that 60 street burner kit's the only one that has these lights. So I bought it to put that on there, you know, and but like this is probably my favorite car. Not all of them, you know, the rims, like you can see inside the rims are painted also blue, you know, and like just so I can yeah, they're painted blue also, all the way around and everything. And this is bare metal foil. The rest of the stuff is all chromed out, and you know, trying to get the black in the grill, so you know it's not like all chromed out. You can see how it looks. Even the lights are blue. If you look at the lights, they're blue also.
Yeah, nice light blue tint. That's cool.
And now
this is the first time I met you at Atlanta when you had that.
Yeah.
Dude, you had a crowd of people around that car. It was definitely a showstopper there.
Yeah, I remember when I met you because you had that van that's hanging up behind you. You had that van. I asked you. I was like, we were talking about your van back there.
Yeah. That was when we met. That was a good time.
Yeah, the one right here. The one right there.
Represent.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are mine. You know, I have other cars, but those are my two favorite. And like Louise was talking about, like with me, I try to make my next build better than my last, but that doesn't work out that way all the time because sometimes there's older builds still hold weight like that. And Paul, I show you every time I take it to a different show that I haven't went to, it always wins.
Yeah.
No matter what, it wins and wins and wins. And I'm just so happy. Like I have the other one right here that started it all. You can almost see it right here in the background. Right here. That's the one that was like perfect score, the one I had posted the other day. Like I got inspiration by that, and I built that car a long time. That's the one I brought to Atlanta and I beat everybody with. And I look at it now and I'm like, man, that thing is kind of hurt, but it is what got me started, got me back into everything. And it's funny because it seems like anything I build 58 wins and everything else is like,
Yeah, it's just like my dad said. I mean, it doesn't have a perfect paint job. The things that I do in the beginning was things that I did 6 years ago that I will probably do different now.
Yeah,
but
we evolved.
This holds a special place in my heart because, like I said, it's the model that you know brought me back in. You know, so and it's good to see it done and finished, and it got it gets a lot of attention too. So it's cool, you know.
Yeah, it makes you happy that you could build something that still holds weight to this day.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring it anywhere, people look at it and ask you questions, and you know people keep asking me questions. They'll come back and ask me again because they don't believe me what I did with the car. You didn't do that. You didn't do that, and I'm like, I did. And I show them pictures and stuff like that, and it makes you feel good. And that's why I said, you know, I don't really care anymore. Anybody in the beginning always wants to win when you go to a contest. But after you win, then after a while, you start meeting so many people that you really don't care because you have more fun talking to people than you have being
Absolutely.
at the show.
Absolutely.
You know, being out talking to
Yep.
people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Right. Now, this is the other one I have. This is the Possessed Dreams.
Nice.
One of the latest.
Wow.
This is an Impala too.
Man.
So what it has already everything is painted, floor, the back.
I'm not even going to build anymore. Thanks a lot, Armando.
Okay. So gold moonroof is some glasses that are gold, and I just cut
Oh,
them,
cool.
and I use that as a glass. This car is going to have already chrome frame, goes underneath. Everything is inside, so the car will lay to the floor with no problems. So
Nice.
it's already tucked in like the way it should be. So,
Did Louise do that body drop?
no. So, and this is a replica of a car from back in the 70s. Yeah, I gotta put it on mine.
Do the backdrop. The backdrop. There you go.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
The back.
He only got two hands. He can't do everything.
The poster and the backdrop.
And the back. Okay, hold on.
The picture might disappear in his hand.
Yeah.
True, true.
See?
See, it disappeared.
Oh.
See? He has that chameleon paint job on there.
Yeah. Nah, looks good.
That's the replica of that car. So hopefully,
See, I can't do replica paint jobs right now. I need to get on your level, you and some other people. I can't do that. I'll do replica, and they're like, what is that a replica of? My shoes?
yeah. Now this is a '64 I did, candy blue. This is as you can see, it's so dusty. But one of my prides on it's the
Nice.
look. This is all hand painted mural, and
Wow.
it says 1996 on the. Oops. So let me go here.
Wow, that's nice.
You know, back in '96, I used to draw, but if I would have did that on my car, it would have been like some stick figures.
I remember this. I remember I had the convertible halfway and with all the frame and everything. I have videos of it. I'm gonna post them on YouTube later on. I found the video, so I'm gonna be able to post this car.
Oh, you got working seats in there? I see they're like folded forward.
Yeah, these ones. That was AMT.
Wow, look at that.
I know, right?
That was back then when we were in competition. I mean, look at it this way. I was in competition with David Anthony Garcia. I was in competition with Gary Seeds. I was with competition with Carlos Avelar. I mean, all those guys were really, really good. And it was always that competition that you have to,
That's another thing that drives you to competition, like,
Yeah.
Because amongst friends, that competition level, like, oh man, you just want to see who's going to do something better or who can win or, it just drives you to do even better for yourself.
Yeah. And back then, there were no cell phones or whatever, and you don't know what people are doing. You just show up and everybody's looking at you. I'd be like putting my model like this, all shaky. And then my son will tell me like, okay, Dad, let me help you. Because
You're so nervous.
I was so nervous. Everybody, I see everybody's looking at me like, okay, here comes Armando. Let's see what he's got. And then I pull the car with lights and everything, whatever, on a turntable. And they're like, okay, that's it. Let's go, whatever. But I always used to have fun with them because we used to go out for lunch or we used to like just hang out. And it was like something that I was able to share that back then.
Yeah.
Is
And
it go for it.
it brought out those guys are legends building and it brought out the best in you, I bet. It pushed you harder, right? To
Right.
step up, and in hindsight, make you a better modeler just to, go hard and step it up even
Well, look
more.
at him. He's still a legend, and he's still like doing it. Like some of these other guys, they're doing it here and there, but he's still doing it like full time. And like when he did that Local 64 car, like I don't know anybody of all of us that are on here besides Armando. Like I've seen that car in person, you know, and to see him make a model, because it's been to Florida a couple times, so lowrider shows down here. So I've actually seen that car up close in person, and to see his build, and I'm like, how the heck did he do that? You know, back then, you know, just doing stuff, and then reading the things. Oh, I made this and made that. And I'm like, what did he make it out of? You know, I'm trying to figure out what he made it out of. You know, like anybody who's reading an article, they're gonna like, well, how do you do this? Where do you get this from? But to see that car and see the real car in person is just, you know, amazing.
Yeah, that car was made out of AMT model kit, and you know how the AMT model kit doesn't have like a good frame and stuff.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, it's the worst kit to start from.
I use a
To the background.
62 model kit.
Yeah.
I need to erase the. Hold on. Let me take this off. There we go.
Nice.
And I seen that car in person, and to see his model in the books is just like, wow.
Yeah.
Great.
You know, to getting all the stuff as close as he can get it and whatever, and to see it, because, you know, I back then, you know, you only know so many techniques to do stuff, and that's back then when it was just all acrylic paint. So you paint a car, you have to sit up for like 3 weeks just to dry. You know, you touch it one time, you have like a fingerprint paint job. Yeah, there's a real one. He got it right there. Yeah, it's just amazing. You know, nobody like I said, only me and him probably seen this car in real life, and you know, it's just crazy. You know, because like,
check this guy, you guys out. Hostage.
Oh, it's a nice case.
Oh, what? In person.
He stole it?
Oh, damn, you jacked it. Armando didn't even, that's why
house.
Hey, that's why he disappeared. He was looking for it, but now all of a sudden Edgar, he must have passed it to Edgar.
He made another one.
That's another one.
I only kept the pictures. Look.
Oh, look at, he only got the pictures then.
That's with that old turntable with lights and the sign and everything.
Hey, Armando, what year was that you displayed it the first time? What year?
1994, 93, 94.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was graduating high school.
Yeah, man, I was like a freshman or sophomore.
Dang.
Yeah.
I was fighting the war in Iraq. Nah, I'm just joking. I wasn't.
Hey guys, so we have like 5 more minutes left.
Any more questions?
I'm gonna ask you a final question. This is from Chester, and he wanted to know. This is a question for everybody. We'll do another roundabout. Who would you like to collaborate with right now, if you could? Who's someone you would like to collaborate with? So whoever wants to start, go for it.
I'll start.
All right, go for it, David.
I want to collaborate with everybody. Like like somebody on paint, somebody on hydros, somebody.
Remember, that's what we are. That's our little shop right here. You look at everybody.
Yeah. Let's do this right here.
You're gonna get the
this
parts.
is the collaboration right here.
You're gonna get the parts, and then Armando's gonna do the fabrication.
Yes.
Luis is gonna do all the body work.
I'm
Edgar's
in,
gonna make
and
the
whatever you
calls.
guys want me to do, I'll do some custom photo etch or whatever we need to do. And yeah, whatever we need to do, I'm down.
That's a great idea, man. You know what? Like, I'll be happy to do a collabo in this panel right here.
Yeah, I love that. Let's do it. But there was a few of those a while back that we did, like a team build off. That was fun. I've seen. I was in 2 of those, and we did like fundraisers for like mini dreams and
yeah, remember
like
those Cadillacs back in the day.
Yeah. The Cadillac, and there was a '59 Impala. That I
remember Hank brought one of those Cadillacs out to
that
Caddy
Caddy Fest. Yeah, that Caddy Fest. It was there. Yeah.
Well, I didn't get to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we bounced. Yeah.
Yeah, we were too busy
orbit
talking.
of each other, but never met.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let's do a collaboration right now.
Hey, that'd be nice. I like that idea.
What car?
I don't know.
That's the
thing. What's the most? The most popular.
They might jump
popular.
There we go.
No, how about we do like something cool, like Oh, you know what? I've got a resin Rivy coming.
What
A
year?
boat tail
Somebody's
Rivy.
gonna have to make the windows.
There you go. That's a job right there.
Hotel.
I got a boat tail Rivy coming.
Oh, there you go.
It's gonna be that one.
There you go. Done.
That's the one's coming.
That's the one.
Yep.
Dang. Before the car gets painted, we'll have Luis review it and make sure everything's been sanded.
He's gonna have
Make
his
sure
hat
it goes
for
up.
that
Hey,
one.
yeah, Luis is quality control. He's quality. I don't like this. Gonna have to drop a little bit more, sand some here. He's quality control. Oh, look right there. Yeah.
Oh, here, let me spotlight it. Let's see for everybody out there watching.
See, that's a kit they need to make also. You know, that kit will fly off the shelves
Yeah.
also.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. There's so much potential with that car if they made it. I don't know what they just need to release a bunch of, just like the 70 Caprices and Impalas. They need to bring those back because that's money right there too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, can you imagine 70 Impala is not even that, that
Nice.
great of a car, but as a model. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do a photo etch grill for it, whatever we need to do. Be
We'll
fun.
do some photo etch windows.
Somebody got a vacuum for him. That was
Yeah, that's what I need. That's the thing, man. That's one thing I hate about some of the resin kits. They have no windows, and you got to
Yeah.
make it out of that plastic, and that's hard, man. I got to make window for that box Chevy, and it's
yeah,
driving
you got
me
to make a
crazy.
buck, and yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who I would want to do. There's a lot of people, and it's hard to say because sometimes you want to do build with everybody. Not everybody at one time, but I want to do one with George. I want to do one with Edgar. I want to do one with Louise. It's a lot of people.
Wow.
There's a lot of good people out there.
Yeah,
The late,
that's
That's
what
a
I'm
li-
doing right now with the photo etch kind of stuff and 3D printing. I'm trying to be like Pitbull, collab with everybody.
I need a Scale Riders photo etch plaque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send me the logo, dude. I'll do it. I've got to hurry up and turn in a batch here pretty soon.
Oh shoot! All right.
Well, we can do it a build with Chester when it was hybrid trucks and stuff. Make it like a lowrider hybrid race truck like he's doing.
Punch 84 version of that.
Yeah, see, Chester, you got it, man.
I
And
love-
then we're gonna
Armando, that's a nice body. What is
Yeah,
the
that
link?
is cool.
LTD.
LTD, right?
78.
LTD.
Yeah.
Is that a resin?
Yes, the 4-door, but I made it into a 2-door.
Nice.
Can you
I
show us
did
again,
one.
Armando?
I did one for Big Papa Diaz, Chris Diaz from
Okay.
Colorado.
Mhm.
But this is
Wow. Nice.
Nice.
I love that front, man. Oof.
with the
those hideaway lights. I like the hideaway lights.
Man.
Yeah, that's nice.
A roof.
So me and George need to come out to Texas over there with David because we need to hang out with him and
Yeah, come on.
Tony.
Oh, dude,
I'm sure.
if you can make it out for August, we're reinventing the way shows are done. We got that venue, Deep Ellum Art Company. They got a bar. We got a taco truck outside. We got a big patio. We got a DJ playing.
You say bar? Okay.
Oh yeah,
All right.
there, man.
I'm there.
I'm down right there.
Right here. It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely, man. Maybe I'll try to
It's more
come
of a
out there,
get
man.
together than it is a show. Like the awards, the whole judging thing is quick and nobody bitches.
So
Mostly.
right now we're live. We're like, you can back out or whatever. So I like
You can
what
back
David
out.
is saying. I like what David is saying, a collaboration with everybody here. So let's see. I'll do the paint job.
Nice. Well, that
No
was
argument
easy.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
easy.
so that's
Go.
it.
I'll clear coat. Clear coat.
So
No, he's doing the paint job, so he's doing the clear coat.
right now, we need to know who's gonna do what.
Okay, I need the body
It's-
so I can get measurements and do some photo etch stuff for it.
First of all, well, what is it? Is it the rev you're saying, or what are we doing?
I was
we
just
gotta-
throwing
That's the
stuff out.
thing. Hey, I'm gonna do this, you can do that, but what are we gonna make? I don't know. It's gonna be like nothing. It's like bam.
It has to say right now. That way, it's online. It's like, okay, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I covered the paint job. So who's
You have to sign a
gonna cover
contract.
the wheels?
How about a 56 Chevy Nomad?
Well, I mean, they could
I
be.
didn't ask you that.
Oh well, David, your idea was great. So what car would that be?
Oh yeah,
What's
yeah.
that?
Go ahead.
that was
came up with the
yeah,
idea.
Oh, yeah, you
more
go.
collaboration.
All right, well, yeah, let's stick with the Rivy, man. I love the idea of a boat tail Rivy.
Okay, heck yeah.
So you got one of those. Okay, who's gonna do the body work?
I can start with the
Luis.
body work.
Okay, I'll do the
Okay.
paint job. George,
I'll do the interior if you want.
He's the wheel man. You're the wheel man.
I'm a wheel man, but I'm gonna end up buying somebody's wheels. So.
That's all right. You put them on there though, right? You put them on. We see you got to make them. You got them.
Hey,
I
man,
don't even know what I'll do.
hey, whatever task you guys give me, I'll go for it.
Louis, looks like you need to handle all the plumbing, all the electrical, you know, just put all the details.
Yeah.
I might could 3D print a special plaque for you know this build or something.
Actually, yeah, there's probably a lot of 3D printed stuff that's gonna be needed for it.
Yeah. Get some details in there, maybe custom seats, maybe custom steering wheel,
Yeah.
some engine
Okay.
stuff.
all right,
That'd be dope.
Yep.
And
that's good.
the chat should use the kit that we build.
Okay,
What?
Chat should just send it.
The what?
So this thing's it's gonna be like it's not gonna have a motor or nothing, right? It's gonna be like a maybe curbside.
Nope. Gotta have a motor.
It has to.
If we
So,
got
I
got
would
six,
say,
seven
yeah,
people on there,
yeah.
we gotta have a motor on there.
We got interior,
And radiator,
we got
radiator
3D
too.
printed parts.
It needs to have a radiator that fits.
well, I could do the motor or the interior, whatever you guys feel like.
Chassis. Who's gonna do
Well,
that?
George, I'll let you do the interior, and then I can find. We'll see what we decide on the engine, and I can take care of the engine.
Sounds good.
What car's gonna fit for the chassis? Does it already have the chassis already, or we got to get like a donor kit?
Well, I think Luis would be nice to be the one to do the body drop.
Right?
So, to figure out, maybe do the body work, get it,
Yep.
fit it, because he knows how to get these cars down low. You have the experience, Luis.
Yeah. Yeah.
You down with that?
Ooh,
I
there
do
you
it,
go.
but
I'm
There you
doing it
go.
right now. He's showing you right
On the
now what
book
he all
now.
about.
I just broke a ball joint.
All right, let me see. Let me zoom in. Show us, Luis. Oh,
So you broke a ball joint?
oh dang.
He was hopping. He was hopping.
Uh-oh.
how about you, Edgar?
Hey, you know what, Edgar?
Yeah, you need to
No,
come up with
You know what we need
something.
to do now, Edgar?
Yeah.
We need to go to that taco place we went to at the NNL West.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
that was good.
That's
Let's
what.
go over there. It's all of us go over there right now.
No, hell yeah. No, I mean, I'm down for whatever. I mean, I could do some body work too, or
How's
I-
this?
I like
Oh.
body work and body work, like sanding and all that, and also clear coating is like my favorite. I love doing those two.
Okay, you
How about the clear?
get it prepared, and then we give it to Edgar. He does the body work, and then I do the paint job, and then he does the clear.
There
That
you go.
sounds good.
That way everybody's touching that car, and then we figured out what name would that be.
Yeah, we'll come up with a name for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What engine are you guys thinking? So I can start looking at that. You guys don't need to do body work around the engine.
Let's get a good LS, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like for a Reeve, a lot of people are looking parts for Reeve, so I think that's also
A basic LS, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man.
Wheels. We have to come up with the wheels. We'll see
Can do it.
who will donate the wheels for this project.
We're gonna do it
Yes.
like Gas Monkey. We're gonna do it like Gas Monkey Garage. You're doing a rib. We're gonna do it like them.
No.
They got like big 24-inch rims. We're gonna do.
No.
We're gonna do
No, we're gonna do it.
No.
Okay, let me turn it off. Let me turn this thing
No,
off.
no,
Wrong
no,
crowd,
no. I'm not
man.
saying.
Wrong
I'm
group.
not saying we're putting those big wheels on it. I'm saying we're gonna, you know, they're doing a rib too. They got it slammed all the way on the ground, and everything, you know.
Okay.
Well, look, I like the idea of having somebody like Jeffries or JPS donate the wheels
Yeah.
because they're the top of their game right now. I mean, that's my opinion, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and that's always hard to pick. But you know, if it's coming from either one of those guys, or if you guys got somebody else in mind, I think we could go wrong with
No,
anything.
those are the dudes right there. Yep.
Yeah.
One of them.
And then once it's done, like I'll have the model for maybe like a month and a half. Then I'll mail it to you. You keep it for a month and a half. Then you
Share
mail it to
custody.
you. It's just being
We
mailed
gotta
around.
share the custody.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, we need to make sure it goes on tour to all the shows.
You know what?
Yeah.
We gotta call the Corona build.
Or what if it gets like you said, it gets showcased at all the like shows that are whoever's gonna
Yeah.
attend in different areas in the U.S. and then at the end maybe it could be like donated to Peterson Museum. It gets showcased in L.A. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
you
gotta
know,
come correct it. It's gonna be that way.
hey, David, you know what we also can do? Probably in the magazine, do a little like a
We'll spread on it.
these are
Absolutely.
8, you know, and after somebody has it and goes to the next person, you know, you show the progress in every issue.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Every step. I think that'll get people very interested and want to follow. We could even,
And give us deadlines.
yeah, and also
Something.
we could even start a maybe an Instagram page just for that build to have people follow, and we could hashtag and people could follow the build and you know, and that's just some ideas, you know.
Yeah.
And another
Let's
thing
call it.
after that, after the build and it gets done, and like Edgar was talking about it going to different shows. You can,
Yeah,
like take pictures of it at the different shows, different wherever, you know, that too.
Armando,
Yeah.
can you get Voltron? Can you picture something cool, funky 80s to go with a Voltron theme?
And the paint job.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be all the colors of the lions.
Yes.
Black lion, green lion. It's for Voltron or River. We're gonna call it Rivertron. Corona Rivertron.
As soon as you said the name, that's it. My mind starts spinning.
Voltron.
You gotta put that sword somewhere
Hey,
on there. You gotta put that sword on there somewhere. Voltron sword. Yeah, yeah.
You know what? Voltron, that's cool because those are the lines getting together to form one. I like that.
Yeah.
To form that one riv.
Hell yeah. I got one more question before we go. So we're gonna do this last question. This is for Iceman, and then after that we'll do a shout out. Or you guys can do your shout outs before we take off. So this one is from Rudy Munoz asking, this is a question for Iceman. What 3D printer are you currently using, and which 3D printer would you recommend someone wanting to get if they want to get into 3D printing?
So I use 2 different types of printers. I have a total of 6 of them now. I use Photon and the Photon S. Those are probably, I consider them to be beginner printers still. They just recently came out with the Photon Zero, which is just a little bit over $100, and it works the same way. It's a smaller plate, so you can print less stuff. But if you're gonna print just for yourself, that's probably the one that I recommend. There's a couple others out there. There's a Mars printer as well. But one thing that if you're looking to get into it, one thing that you'll need to consider is what your working space is like, so you can decide how big of a printer you get, and then also how big the parts are that you're gonna print, because that's going to kind of help you decide what type of printer and how big you want to go. So do your research, man, because there's a lot of things that you need to consider, from the things that I mentioned to the resin that you use, the smell. You know, there's factors. I don't know if you live in an apartment, if you have family that are sensitive to smells. All those things are things you need to consider and research, just so that you're fully informed. My opinion is the Photons, and that's, you know, that's because that works for me. That's what's worked for me so far. But you know, hit me up on Instagram or on Facebook, and I'm happy to answer some additional questions if you want.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
You guys want to give any shout outs before we go? Starting, let's start off with Armando, and then we'll go from there one by one.
Yeah, I will shout out everybody that you have interviewed, Edgar. I mean, if it wasn't for them, you would not be in this situation that you are right now. So it's all come with you know, everybody cooperating with everybody. And this is the reason why, you know, I talk to you many times, many hours, and give you advices how everything works and how it's going very smooth. It's going really nice. And when you're good people, everything comes up pretty good. So everybody that has been in your podcast or hasn't been in your podcast, but it will be later on, that's kind of what supports the hobby.
Nice, man. Thanks. Oh yeah. Now you, George?
Yeah, sure. Like, shout out to you first of all for putting this together. I'm sure that that you're just giving us another outlet for the community to get together, and you know, shout out to pretty much everybody who builds model cars. And all I could say is just support each other, just like Armando said. You know, it's a lot better. You'll have a lot more fun when you get together and you do stuff together. Collabos, like I'm already excited about this collaboration.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's just like Armando said. You're good people. You're good, and you stay positive and be positive with everybody. Good things will come your way, and you know, just shout out to everybody for that. And I guess let's go to Louis.
Are you sent
Are
it
you awake?
Oh, busted.
I want to give a shout out to everyone who tuned in to the live stream last night, especially to Ivan. He donated this 62 to my brother so he can build it. I'm doing all the body work to it, and then my brother's gonna paint it. But basically, just shout out to everyone that tuned in tonight. It was our first live stream, so stay tuned for more. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more. It's only gonna get better from here. And shout out to everyone who's building during the quarantine days.
Dope. Nice. All right. Any Dennis?
Okay, well, I guess I'll give a shout out to all you guys on here in front of me, because I'm looking at you guys, Edgar, Armando, Luis, George, Iceman. Shout out to all you guys. You know, we came together, you know, like a little conference or whatever. And a shout out to Richie from Top Notch Model Builders. He's really good guy. And shout out to Chippa TV. You know,
Yeah, Triple T.
Yeah,
yeah, Billet,
Oh.
87 also, man. Some cool people, man. And like I said, shout out to everybody. Everybody who's listening, thank you for tuning in, staying up. It's late for me. It's late for me and George. It's 1:18 in the morning. I gotta get right back up at 7 o'clock. But it's okay. I'm doing this for the hobby. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I get up, you know, having a good time. We're having good stories and everything. So shout out to everybody who's listening and who might watch it or later or whatever. And you know, everybody keep building, man. And you know, have fun with this. Well, I say have fun with this because some people just take it certain things about it way too seriously, you know, and you can't say nothing to them because, you know, it's like you offend them by saying stuff. And some people have to learn how to take constructive criticism. You know, if you're going to get anywhere with this, you're going to have to learn how to do that. Yeah, of course, you're not going to like everything everybody says, but, you know, everybody has an opinion, you know, so just try to listen sometimes, because sometimes people are trying to tell you something that will help you. And just got to shout out to everybody, man. We're having a good time, and thanks for watching, and thanks for Edgar putting this on. I don't see him up here nowhere anymore, but thanks. Yeah.
Disappeared.
Oh, man, he's dope. He went on his walk.
Oh, that's dope. What about you, Joel, Iceman?
You know, echo what the guys have said so far. Thanks to you for putting this together and doing these live sessions and, you know, the podcast, keeping people connected. Everybody here, I think everybody here, all of you guys at least are innovators in the hobby. So I've taken inspiration from a lot of the work that you guys have done. So thanks for that. And then just thank everybody that's in, you know, Instagram community, Facebook, that's involved in model building. Thanks for the support, the motivation to, you know, just different ideas that you guys are sharing with me. And just to, you know, touch on what a little bit on what Dennis said. You know, that a lot of us have this hobby to kind of escape, you know, everything that's going on. There's enough haters outside of this hobby. Don't be negative. You know, we talked about competition kind of driving us, but just keep it positive. I think once the negativity starts in and you start to tear people down, that's when the community starts to break down. So in my opinion, help each other out, learn to take that constructive criticism. If you have a skill, share it. If you're not sure, then, you know, look and rely on some of these guys that have the skill. They'll give you the answers that you're looking for, that they know work. They're proven and they work. So but that's pretty much it, though. Stay positive, stay safe, like Luis said, during this quarantine. But thanks everyone for the support, man. Keep watching.
Awesome. David. On
I was hoping I could be able to just like. Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of covered it all. But yeah, definitely big thanks to everybody for tuning in, and actually really, and everybody who supports in any way, anywhere from the smallest little like on Instagram or Facebook, and definitely to everybody that you know, supports the hobby in any way. You know, and everything you guys do supports my desire, you know, fuels my desire to build even more and do things like the magazine and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, everybody kind of collectively makes a big impact in my desire to keep doing what I'm doing, and it's cool to allow me to be myself and, you know, do this thing that a lot of people don't understand. But as a online community, we all kind of found each other, bunch of weirdos, you know.
That's cool. Nah, awesome. Yeah, well, I mean, I want to shout out to you guys. Thank all you guys here joining me, part of this first Zoom meet. Also, everybody who tuned in, who from the beginning to right now, we're getting to the end of the episode. You know, the chat room, everybody who participated. Shout out to you guys. Stay tuned for another episode, and in the future. Make sure if you missed the beginning parts of this, if you're just jumping on, don't worry. This video is going to be available on YouTube. It's going to be posted, and also the links to all the guests here will be posted on there as well. So if you guys want to follow them, check out their work, see what they got to offer. I mean, you guys need to check out Iceman's 3D printing products that he has available. Also, Detail Junkies dedicated magazine is going to be out pretty soon. I mean, he has it in hands. There it is. And I mean, just you know, stay safe and keep it positive and keep building for you guys. So so this is 65 Lokes, Edgar checking out. Thank you guys for watching this first edition, and hope to see you guys again.
All right, likewise. See you guys.
Later. Bye.
Bye guys.
You guys.
Peace out.